Welcome to Cinemondo with Kathy, and I just got back from seeing Fighter. Ooh. Okay, Fighter, if you don't know already, just came out this weekend. I had to drive a little bit. Not too bad, though. Fighter is the latest film from Siddharth Anand. Now, he did War, which I actually really love. Now, that to me was the ultimate Hrithik Roshan film because he got to co-star with Tiger Shroff, and that was adorable. And they had some great song and dance numbers in that, and they didn't even make excuses for it. They just plopped them in there for no reason. So I love that too. And he has a way of shooting. He also did Bang Bang. These are big, glossy crowd pleasers. They have a lot of humor. They have a little bit of a wink. Fighter was his least humorous film. Had a little bit, of character building that included the humor, but we'll get into it. But I think War is probably my favorite so far. I think, the entrance of Hrithik Roshan getting off the helicopter is probably one of the most iconic things I've ever seen. So good. And like everyone's just looking there with them, eyes popping out of their heads. Mine were too. So Fighter is basically Siddharth Anand's answer to Top Gun. We're just going to say it up front because, again, Tom Cruise made that genre happen pretty much. Now, with that in mind, it's not that I saw anything really new in this movie. It was a little predictable. There's a lot. I've seen a lot of films based around the military and, again, Tom Cruise, Top Gun type films. And the nice twist here was that it was from an Indian perspective, which I really liked. I got to see something fresh there. And they really addressed the Pakistan conflict head on, which Top Gun didn't really do a ton of that, really, getting too political or anything. It was all just there for Tom Cruise. So that was kind of refreshing to see, like, that element of based on history kind of idea. So Fighter also stars, it has a super glossy high-end cast. It has Hrithik Roshan, it has Deepika, and it has Anil Kappor, and this newcomer that kind of blew me away because he was like, he was the antagonist, Rishabh Sani, and he plays the basically big bad from the very beginning all the way through. And he's bad because he has a big red eyeball, and it's really gross. But he is bone structure, like seriously model looking, long dark hair, really high cheekbones, gorgeous. So he has that like catwalk looking look, but then he's this terrible bad guy with like no empathy. He's just cold hearted. Now he's kind of basically the personification of the bad guy for this film. And that's who we want Hrithik Roshan to go toe to toe with eventually. We want him to take him down. So that's what I'm waiting for. The whole movie is waiting for that moment. So in a way, the movie is just one big setup waiting for this conflict. You just wait for that to happen. In the meantime, we had some kind of fun stuff. We had a lot of sunglasses being taken on and off. That was good. It's always, the slow motion walking toward camera and taking off the glasses. Even Deepika got to do that. It was a little gross to me to see Deepika walking. She's a serious fighter pilot. She's just as capable as a man, and she's walking, toward the group, and they're all like, tongues hanging out, like, woo! It's like, you guys, professional. Let's just go there. So there was a little bit of that. It felt a little juvenile. So that I didn't love. A little bit of the buildup felt like they were in high school or something. Didn't quite understand the sort of immaturity toward, friendship and relationships. There's a lot of like goofy fighting and fighting over girls. It was just kind of odd. I think what it's trying to do is it's just trying to have some levity, have some youthful fun before it got heavy duty. There's also, I think, just for the girls, we had a really gratuitous shower scene with Hrithik Roshan. See, that is refreshing to me because usually it's the women in the shower. In this movie, it's Hrithik Roshan. So you can't really complain, and I'm not. So there's that. Clearly the director loves Hrithik, and they definitely play off each other. Hrithik gives tons of like love toward the camera. Camera loves him. The director gives him tons to do and look good doing it. I think because the movie was so familiar in structure and tone that there weren't a lot of surprises. There were a few fake outs, like people you thought were dead aren't dead. You had some great stunt work. The CGI actually really good in the theater. Like, I was a little worried going in because I thought that the trailers made the CGI look a little rough. And because they only showed a few scenes, I was like, oh no, now we're going to get like a lot of this kind of painful CGI. But mostly it looked really good. And I think with the big sound effect in the theater, big and loud, and how they made it almost sound like planes were going around you, that was really well done. So mostly it was great. It got a little rough at the end. And some of the explosions, I think when you including explosions and things get a little, they just never seem to work. It's weird. That's where it gets fake looking. But they had, a kind of familiar, because we saw it in a few movies before this. We saw it in Jawan, and Tiger 3, where they're jumping toward a helicopter and, through the midair. And if they miss it, they're fucking dead. But, they're right, I get it. So they had that stunt, but they had a nice little twist to it. I enjoyed that. I won't even say where or when, but it was they did a nice job with the helicopter stunt, which I liked. So it's a handsome production. So we had that fun dance number. We've seen the music video. It felt a little out of character. Hrithik's character is kind of a serious guy. He gets in trouble, he gets demoted, he becomes an instructor. It's very Tom Cruise. But to see him becoming very capable and happy and graceful and dancing, it just felt a little not what he would do, but I loved seeing it again. And they didn't, and I think it's just this director. He just likes to put in a fun little, let's just take a break, people, from all of this. Let's just have some fun. And it doesn't even really have to, be part of the plot. They did the same thing in War, same thing in Bang Bang. You just want to see Hrithik do his thing, and it is impressive. I honestly wish there had been more song and dance numbers in this, because I would like to have seen Hrithik Roshan doing a lot more dancing. You cannot stop watching. It's hypnotic. He's so precise. He's so good, and it just looks effortless. I cannot imagine. I think the film goes a little overboard with patriotism, but I'm not going to really, fault it for that, overall, because that's what this movie's about, and it's not hiding it from the promotion. We know that's what it's about. And really, a lot of these military films like this, and even Top Gun, do a lot of rah for the military, and for good reason. Some of the side characters were good. I think they got a little probably overshadowed by Hrithik and the bad guy, because they were so dynamic. Rishabh Sani's character, they were so overwhelmingly, glorified in the camera that it was hard to even register outside of that. We had the group of them kind of ogling and jostling and making fun and having fun. Some of the characters do register, the side characters. They unfortunately didn't get a ton of screen time or enough to really register as different personalities per se. You see, they basically raise the stakes. He's trying to protect his men, and these men get in trouble, and that's sort of what their function is. They have a few moments of, standing up to the bad guy and, making registering on screen, but pretty much they don't get a lot to do, and that's not really their fault. This movie's about Hrithik and Deepika, and that's basically what this is about. I even wish that Deepika had done more. She was doing a lot of reacting and not a lot pushing narrative forward necessarily, but mostly she was a reminder about Hrithik's previous lost love, and I think that was kind of her function in a way, unfortunately. But overall, big glossy crowd pleaser, fun film. The effects were actually really good. Just a few little missteps here and there, but overall, it's a big fun movie. I liked it. I mean, I was really glad to see Hrithik on the big screen looking so good, because the last time I saw him he was in Vikram Vidha, and he didn't look so good, but he was great. But he was a little rough around the edges on that one. But I did enjoy it. So let me know your thoughts about Fighter. Have you seen Fighter? What do you think? I think it's doing well at the box office. The reviews aren't great, and I see why. I mean, again, it's so familiar. There's nothing super new in this, but it is just a fun spectacle. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.